country. Did you guys know this? It's not Nashville, but Tennessee. Did I say Tennessee? Anyway, and I think they say that the reason is that it's that a lot of the storms that come through, there may not be more storms than like in Tornado Alley, not more tornadoes, but more of them happen at night, so people are sleeping and through the tornado sirens and stuff. So what that means is that whenever a storm comes through, it's always a little bit terrifying. You know, like we always turn on the news and sit in front of the TV and pop popcorn and just watch the storm come in. And it's our family entertainment for the evening. But I love that whole thing. And in fact, I remember one time, my wife and I are wired very differently. Like she's the one who, if she hears that there might be a ghost in a house, she won't stay there. But I want to stay there when I hear that. And in fact, one time we were driving somewhere, I forget where, and we saw a UFO. I'm only kind of joking, but seriously, it was this foggy night, and right next to the interstate, there was a flying saucer. It was hovering, and the lights were flashing, and it was really scary. I felt like my heart jumped into my throat, and I thought, that is a UFO. And my wife's instinct was to scream and say, drive faster, and my instinct was to pull over to the side of the road so that I would be taken. And so, anyway, it was a water tower. So anyway, we were watching the news in Nashville, and there was an announcement that there was a funnel cloud spotted, and they showed the map, you know, of the city, and the funnel cloud was right at, like, you could see the intersection where our house was. And we, of course, the power went out right immediately, and then we run for the bathroom, and the kids are in there in the dark, and Jamie's in there in the dark, and once they're all safe, they realize that I'm not there, because I was standing in the yard looking for the funnel cloud. And so, anyway, that's kind of my thing. Whenever there's something like weird and creepy or amazing, I kind of want to lean into it and find out. I want to see what's behind the curtain, you know? And so I don't know about you, but there have been times, many times in my life where I have been frustrated that God wouldn't speak to me. You know, where and I talk to people sometimes and they say, oh, well, the Lord told me this. And I go, how does that work? I don't know how that works. And I'm not saying that it doesn't. I know there are a lot of people in here who that God has you seem to kind of know what He wants of you. But I'm not one of those people. I tend to wish that I was that way. You know, I read the Bible or I read the Old Testament and they talk. It seems like God had like this audible voice, you know. And I go, why doesn't He do that anymore? It sure would make my decision making a lot easier if He would just tell me what I was supposed to do. And it would also quiet a lot of the doubts that I have. So I just say that in case you're one of those people. My little girl, she's 8 years old. She came up to me the other night after we prayed for bed, and she said, hey, Papa, does God ever speak to you like in a way that you can hear Him? And I was like, oh, what did He say? I said, no, He doesn't, sweetie. And I said, what about you? And she goes, nah, good night. So I wish that I could accept that as easily as she does. And so there are a lot of times where I go, why don't you just, step through the curtain? Why don't you just unzip the air and step in? Let your glory be known. But then this one night I was sitting in Nashville with my notebook, and it was dark and the storm was coming, and it was that moment where you feel the air pressure change, and there's this whoosh, and your hair kind of flies back, and rain starts to speckle the drive, and we have these old 150-year-old white oak trees in our front yard, and they were whooping around like they were just weeds. And in that moment, you know, the thunder was rattling the windows, and the lightning was flashing, and I thought, you know, when it comes to God unzipping the air and stepping through, maybe don't do that. And so anyway, so I wrote this song kind of about that night, and it's also partially inspired by Val Kilmer's portrayal of Doc Holliday in the movie Tombstone. This is called The Reckoning. I can see the storm descending on the hill tonight. Tall trees are bending to your will tonight. Oh, let the mighty bow down at the thundering sound of your voice. I can hear the howling wind and feel the rain tonight. Every drop a prophet in your name tonight. Oh, and the song that they sing, it isn't washing me clean. But how long until this curtain is lifted? they look